Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion, place of Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. Last run, a great stepping stone. We were carried to the extreme degree. This looks like the loss to me. Oh, hey Ruka. This is a huge get, buddy. 26LH TR3R. Alright, Asel. I have not forgotten about the win condition with Asel. It's oh so simple. Even a child could understand it. If you get HP or range, you will win. So don't knock a range upgrade, although in particular basically Brimstone is the ideal scenario, but we should be pretty good here. The Fool and the Devil. You know what? That's an interesting Isaac question. What do you think's more valuable, the Fool card or the Devil card? I feel like the Galaxy Brain opinion is the Fool card, because it gives you in most cases probably gives you half a Spirit Heart. In some cases gives you a free item from Boss Rush. But I don't know. What does the Devil card give you? It could give you more than half a Spirit Heart. Oh, come on. That was a heck of a shot there. I'm going to roll the Devil card for now, out of inertia. And because in all likelihood, we're not going to be holding the Fool card for like 8 floors. But anyway. It's good, dude. It's been a few, probably a few weeks. My Fridays have been weirdly like errand busy for a while. I've had to interface with normal businesses, and really, like, you know, I'm not gonna hit you with the "I'm busy" complaint. Okay, it's the Fool card. How interesting. But like, really, like, I only have a couple of days on which it's feasible for me to run errands, and Friday's the big one because it's the only day, Monday to Friday, with no streams. And then a lot of businesses, you know, why am I dumb? Are only, they're not open on Saturdays or Sundays. It's been, and then again, this is not the complaint, it's rather to say it's been a long time since I had a Friday to just sit down and get in the groove with Isaac, you know? And I feel like the groove is not there, but the groove is like, is developing right now. It's under development. I think that is a huge get for us. Dark Bum is basically a Dark Bum early. I don't really care about a Tears downgrade as Asel, honestly. Sure, I can live with this. But Dark Bum early as Asel is like infinite HP. Eventually, we have a little bit of delicacy early. It's weird, right? The idea that a delicacy is something that is like considered delicious culturally, but is also the adjective of being delicate. I understand it sounds like my brain is dying right now. That's not the case. I mean, like, insofar as, you know, apart from the fact that everybody's brain is dying, I suppose. Because, like, let me tell you, I've had some cultural delicacies. Very rarely are they delicate. Most of the time, they're extremely, like, strong tasting. Like in Korea, unfortunately, I ate a lot of bandegi, which is... Dude, that's so bad for our tears. I think we gotta roll. Bandegi is basically silkworm pupa. I don't think it's good enough. You know, it's a compromise, but I'll take it. And we'll check the pills for health upgrades. Very good. It's basically silkworm pupa. And by basically, I mean it's that, but like in a broth, maybe. So it's stewed, I think? I don't know. It's not very good. I would never describe it as a delicacy. It tastes like sour dirt. Think about like other cultural delicacies, like Baloo, you know, the 1,000-year-old egg. Well, ain't nothing delicate about that. Natto, you know, like fermented bean sprouts. Found our window there. Not what I would consider they should call them cultural... Well, I guess they shouldn't call them cultural offenses. For a variety of obvious reasons, but... Ew. This tequila with a snake's heart in it. Tastes disgusting. Oh, hey, brother, that's a cultural delicacy. Maybe your palate isn't refined enough to tease apart the flavored nuances of the Snake Heart tequila. I don't know, it's not tequila. I'm conflating two different... Tequila's the worm, right? And then I think it's like it's a Southeast Asian country thing to, like, you know, drink snake liquor. I don't know what kind of liquor it is, though. It beats me, dude. And you know what? I'm never gonna find out. Because I don't watch any of those cooking shows on Netflix anymore. I told you, I'm over it. We're not gonna go down the road again. If you like watching the cooking shows, by all means. It's a pot calling the kettle black. That was horrible. It's a pot calling the kettle black situation, without a doubt. For anybody not familiar with the euphemism, to say that a pot is calling the kettle black, it's a little antiquated, but it's basically like, you know, you're accusing someone of doing something that you are also doing. It's almost like, you know, those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. This has been Ryan's Idiom Hour. I hope you've learned something today. We're just gonna open our item room and get out of this floor, I think. I watch a lot of shows about murder. It's been weird for me too, and it's not like I don't go, yeah, when's he gonna kill him, you know? But it's been weird for me watching the two different types of Netflix shows about murder. One of them is Forensic Files, well, not Unsolved Mysteries, but Forensic Files, or like anything where they actually, quote unquote, find the killer. And it always ends with like, after intense interrogation, they confess to the murder of their wife of 15 years. Then they have an interview like, I don't understand how anybody could do this. This is unconscionable. And then the other kind of Netflix show is people who got coerced into giving false confessions. And then now it's made my viewing of Forensic Files very complicated. If you haven't seen, if you're a true crime fan, it's been kind of like not a banner year for true crime in my opinion, but whatever. But if you haven't seen the confession tapes on Netflix, I would really recommend it. It gives you, you know, as an adult human being, you kind of have always been, or I've always been under the impression, like, if somebody confesses, they must have done it. You know, it's a naive view that I only realize now. But the common sense, like Occam's razor that you have is like, well, you know, if they didn't do it, why would they confess? What do you stand to gain by confessing? Well, you know, the confession tapes kind of goes into that. Is that, you know, first off, not all of these people are necessarily, you know, of sound mind. Secondarily, you know, they're kept maybe without food, without sleep for like 12 hours, constantly being questioned and intimidated and fed information, and you know, sometimes the cop is like trying to be friends with them and is like, hey man, if you like if you just tell us you did this, this will all be easier for you. And they're like, really? And you're like, don't do it unless you did it, in which case do it. But anyway, it's really complicated, my viewing of true crime, because, you know, when I watch Forensic Files and they catch somebody, I'm like, you son of a... you're a piece of garbage. Then I watch the confession tapes and I'm like, I don't know if these guys did it, dude. I'm now of the opinion that all people accused of a crime are simultaneously both innocent and guilty. It's not for me to pass judgment on them, I suppose. Not all people. I mean, there's some people where, like, the evidence is overwhelming, but you get the idea. There's an innate hypocrisy to this true crime where I'm watching, you know, Forensic Files, and they're like, and then he got locked up in jail for the rest of his life. And I'm like, yeah, get him. Then I'm watching the confession tapes, and they're like, and then he got locked up in jail for the rest of his life. And I was like, you scumbags! He didn't do it! Anyway. If you're wondering when the Forensic Files anecdotes are gonna end, the answer to that question is never. There are like 9 seasons on Netflix. That's a lot. But there's like 21 seasons on Amazon Prime Video. It's absurd. I think it might be the longest running television program in history. It's like that. Number 1 is the news. Number 2 is Forensic Files. Number 3 is The Simpsons. Please don't hit me. I'm just a little Asel trying to make his way in the world. Ventricular Razor could be fun, but it's not necessary. Starter deck is kind of in the same boat, but because it's passive, it's a little bit more flexible. So let's start there. Also allows us to hold the Fool card, I suppose. I feel like, there's no way to say this without sounding like complaining. But do you ever feel like we're gonna look back on, like, Netflix 2014 and realize that that was, like, the golden age of content streaming? I don't mean, like, video game streaming, like Twitch or Mixer or whatever, but... Because, like... I really feel like there was a couple of years where, like, Netflix... Let me caffeinate before I get into this bag of worms. Can of worms. That's right, that's the idiom. Can of worms. Not that it makes any more sense in the modern era, I suppose. Some kind of weird fishing metaphor, I think. Pop it, blow it up. Hermit card to get out. Alright. We definitely want Black Candle. But there was, like, in, like, 2014, it was like Orange is the New Black Season 1. House of Cards. And apart from that, Netflix was like, it was one of the only names in the game. You know, all the originals were like appointment viewing. Hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? No, you gotta see this, dude. Oh, have you seen, they gotta see this. Now I'm like... I know that, like, other company... And, by the way, I want to be nice to Netflix. I feel like people sometimes are rude to Netflix. They're like, the service is getting worse. It is, but it's also, like... I think it's getting worse because the television networks are getting a little bit smarter, you know? They're like, why are we licensing our content to Netflix for pennies when we could be charging people, like, subscription prices for this? You know, if people are willing to pay us $10 a month to watch Star Trek Discovery, why am I letting those same people get away with watching it on Netflix for 75 cents a month? So I think part of it is like, you know, Netflix doesn't have much of a choice in the matter. But I do feel like I've been watching, you know, the new releases tab of Netflix for several months, looking for something that catches my fancy, and they're getting fewer and farther between. It used to be like once a week you'd see something that would tickle you, and now I'm like, I don't know, when I see the red N of a Netflix original, I'm now, it used to be like, oh my god, somebody really believes in this show. Now it's like, I don't know, man, this could be the next great documentary of the year, or it could be a weird pseudo-scientific love letter to DMT, the spirit molecule. I don't know yet, you know? I feel like they're in a weird place. Well, okay. Hold on here. I subscribe to Netflix. I do subscribe to Amazon Prime. But, like, we also, you know, don't shoot the messenger. We order a lot of stuff on Amazon. The shipping here, because we live in a city, is pretty nice. On top of that, you know, you get a Twitch Prime subscription. On top of that, you get access to Amazon Prime Video. So, like, we're getting our money's worth, I think, out of Amazon Prime. And we subscribe to cable, which is a terrible value, but I do it nonetheless. Sack of sacks. Sounds good to me, dude. That was impatient, but... You're All Charmed? Like a CW show starring Shannon Doherty? But apart from that, I don't think we subscribe to any video services. And I know one day it's very anti-consumer. Not what I'm about to say, but like the landscape right now. It was way better for the consumer when it was like everything's on either Netflix or Hulu. You know, you just choose one and live with your choice. Or you choose both. Because you're a fat cat. But, you know, now it's like... I remember the moment. It was like the new Twilight Zone came out, which apparently was not that good, but... And I went to watch it, and I was like, oh, it's not on Netflix. Okay, that's fine. It's on Amazon Prime. No, it's not on Amazon Prime. Where is it? CBS All Access. Oh, but you can't even get CBS All Access in Canada. Instead, you've got to use the City TV app, which requires linking your digital cable service to this. And I was like, you know what? No. We live in the year 2019. I'm not jumping through that many hoops to watch a show with a 55 score on Metacritic. You blew it. I don't know where it's gonna end though. I'll admit, I'm a Disney shill, and by which I mean I feel like they make consistent quality products, especially in the Marvel brand, and simultaneously recognize, the problems that come with them controlling, 95% of the media landscape. But I will probably at least give Disney Plus a try. I'm skeptical of the Marvel TV shows, but I'm also, I feel like if there's brands out there that have earned at least a chance, Marvel is one of them. Especially, they're making TV shows, but with real Hollywood actors and actresses. I gotta at least give it a try and see how it works. And if it's trash, you can say ha ha, but like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, we'll give it a shot, but I think they're probably gonna be pretty bad. We'll see. Let's indeed make a sojourn to the shop here. But apart from that, I'm just like, I'm done. The best decision I've ever made for my, like, viewing health has been to lower my standards. And I'm being honest. I could either pay $15 a month for another service, or I could just be happy watching garbage. And I've honestly come to terms with the fact that I'm pretty happy watching garbage. I think that's, and it's a decision that's been very positive for the bottom line. Although it's kind of hypocritical. It's a pot calling the kettle black situation when you recognize that, well, two things. One is that I paid too much money for digital cable just to watch my favorite hockey team be bad. And then the other one is that, I do sell, a subscription to my Twitch channel for $5 a month. But you're not paying to watch the stream. Watching the stream is free. You're paying for emotes. It's a very different thing. It's very different. So I previously would have considered doing this because we have Empress and Algiz, but without being able to see what the items are, come on. Hold me to the same standard you hold yourself to. You wouldn't do that, I think. Why just walk through the beam, So the run as is right now is good, but it's not incredible. We have a lot of, we should win without it being much of a challenge. But we are, Dark Bum is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and the fact that we have an innate Brimstone is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Those are the two big ones right now. And were it not for those, we'd be in a lot of trouble. We haven't really picked up much on the damage front. We haven't really picked up that much defensively, except for Dark Bum, and our spacebar item is kind of like, But it's enough. That's enough as Azazel. And honestly, I've looked down on playing as Azazel because he's kind of easy mode, but any port in the storm, And for NL's idiom hour, any port in the storm is an expression that means, when you're desperate, you shouldn't complain. That's more or less what that means. It's a little similar to beggars can't be choosers, but there's a slight difference. Beggars can't be choosers is more like, hey, if someone's giving you something for free, you shouldn't be like, I don't like mayonnaise. I don't know if we should have gone for the Eternal Heart, but it's hard to say no to more HP. Anyway, I just think that, it's one of those don't it always seem to go, that you don't know what you got till it's gone sort of situations where, I think people were pretty pro Netflix in 2014. It had 900 million subscribers or something, but, nowadays, I do find myself kind of commiserating with people who are like, yeah, there's nothing to watch. If you want to watch people bake bad-looking cakes, then there's a wealth of stuff there. If you're into, and I'm not insulting the Food Network, okay? I've watched my fair share, but if you're into watching content based around food, that's fine. If you, that's the place for you to be. If you love watching Australian reality shows, I have no idea why, but the Australian reality TV industry has sincerely embraced, at least Canadian Netflix. I don't know if it's a Commonwealth solidarity thing, but like, you know, use Australian court dramas. Getting back with the ex, you know? Hey, watch Australians turn their house into an Airbnb. You know, it's... I'm not against it. It's not the kind of content I'm there for. Make more 10-part documentaries about heinous crimes, and I will keep watching. Or alternatively, you got another option. Release one episode of Queer Eye every single day from now until the end of time. How hard could it be? I make an episode of Isaac every single day. And you've got a way bigger staff than me. In more ways than one. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, this would be a great time. Come through in the clutch with a nice damage upgrade. I'm just gonna say it doesn't have to be Brimstone. So we don't have to get all three of the parts of the Guppy Infinity Gauntlet. Why don't you just give me like a little bit of just a ceremonial robes? I would flip my lid over his ceremonial robes. Now, if you want an idiom explanation for flip my lid, brother, I got no idea. Hey, that'll work, Magic Mush. I have no idea. Flip your lid just means like go wild. Okay, well, we can be pretty confident of where our room is, at least. I don't know. Two of spades. I guess I don't feel bad for Netflix, because, you know, the wealth and all that, but definitely feel like they benefited from people not going out on their own for a while. Now everybody's like, well, if you want to watch The Office, you got to get the NBC app. And you're like, dude, can you just cool it? You're going to ruin it for everybody. You're going to send us all back to digital cable where we're paying $10 per month per channel. Probably not, though. I can't remember, like, the last fictional Netflix original that I watched. I feel bad saying this because it's a very, like, cynical take. But, like, I stopped watching Orange is the New Black in, like, season 3. Mostly because, you know, I was watching it and I was like, I don't think it's as good as season 1 or 2, but, like, it's okay. And then Kate was like, I don't really like this anymore. And I was like, you know what? Say no more. We don't have to watch it anymore. But I see that they're on, like, season 7, and I'm like, wasn't her prison sentence, like, 2 years? Maybe that's not a fair criticism, but in my head, I'm like, how could they make 7 seasons of this show? I guess, you know, I mean, I'm kind of an expert. I've seen The Shawshank Redemption, so I know that there's issues to tease apart once Piper... I don't know why I said her name like that. Piper. Once Piper leaves prison, there's things to tease apart. Like, how do you fit back into society as a convicted felon, you know, and what's going on with the people that are still on the inside? But that's why, like, dude, I respect The Good Place. I've never seen it, but I'm gonna make an effort. Once this season 4 is done, I will... Here's my criteria for, like, 100% watching a show. Critically acclaimed and ends before it gets really bad. The classic example is Breaking Bad. Now, let me tell you something, okay? This is a popular opinion, not an unpopular opinion. It's not a hot take. It's just an uncomfortable truth. I think if Breaking Bad... Obviously, we don't want that, unfortunately. I think if Breaking Bad had gone on for another season, it would have potentially run the risk of being remembered a lot less fondly. Because season 5 is not bad television at all. It's still great television, and it has some of the best episodes in the entire series. But it's a little bit more uneven than the rest of the show. But it's still... the run of the series in general is amazing. But these shows that, I mean, again, this is a very pot calling the kettle black situation here, but these shows that go on long after they probably should have ended, just because of the fact that they still have viewership. Hey, man, it's an enviable job, you know, to have people that are like, please don't cancel The Big Bang Theory. I love it. I watch it every night with my kids, you know. But at the same time, all good things must come to an end, and also all bad things, I suppose. We don't really need a speed-up piercing shot combo here. One luck, no thanks. Nah, let's blow it up. I can live with it. I think that's our best option, honestly. But like, hearing when Austin recommended The Good Place, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it. And then The Good Place was like, hey, after season 4, we don't have any more story to tell. So even though the show's pretty popular, we're just gonna end it. I'm like, okay, dude, once the series is done, I'll watch it 100%. And then Austin, you know, I gotta give him credit. He's been recommending this show Dark on Netflix. I'm gonna resist the joke that we tell every NLSS where I get it confused with the movie where the orc is a cop. But anyway, you just recognize that I recognize it in my brain as well, and I'm laughing. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it. And then, you know, season 2 got amazing reviews, and the showrunners were like, hey, we're gonna end it at season 3. I'm like, man, you got it going on here. Not that you should spend your whole life trying to court one viewer. Me? I'm just saying, if you want me to watch a show, that's a big benefit right there. Showrunners willingly choosing to end the show because they, I don't want this. Because they think that they've told all the story they want to tell. It's great stuff. I know people are like, The Big Bang Theory is like the classic, or The Simpsons is like the classic example of a show that just went on too long. But for me, it was like How I Met Your Mother. And I didn't watch, like, during most of its original run. I probably started watching, like, 2 seasons or 2 years before they ended the show. Like, the first few seasons, I was like, you know, this is pretty fresh for a 3-camera sitcom. And all these characters, they feel relatively real. I like Allison Hannigan. I like Jason Segel. Jason Segel? I don't know. Is he related to Steven? And, you know, even, like, Neil Patrick Harris as Barney, you're like, okay, he's, like, it's a fun character. But then it did the same thing that, like, because it has to, you know, to keep things interesting. It did the same thing that Friends does, you know? Oh, Ted's dating Robin, but Barney wants to date. They're all dating each other and blah. And by, like, season 6 or something, I was done with it to a legend. Wait for it, because if you're lactose intolerant, you're gonna get diarrhea. Darily done with it. Anyway. I don't want that to happen to Isaac. I still think I got more story to tell. I still think I got another 1,700 episodes of narrative to get through. Plus, there's new DLC coming. So many opportunities for range upgrades. Sorry, that's needlessly cynical. Actually, the new content looks awesome, and a meaningful divergence in paths that you can actually take as you play the game as well, which is something that I think it could definitely benefit from. Go ahead, hit me. I want you to hit me. But it's also, I'm not in the business of making television-style entertainment. You know, I'm in the business of providing a stream of consciousness pseudo-podcast that, you know, you either listen to or fall asleep to. Is, you know, different strokes for different folks. I'm more like consider myself at least, more like the radio than like, you know, appointment viewing television. This is unlikely to kill him. Please stop shooting over my bombs. Yeah, in fact, that didn't really do much at all. I think I would rather just shoot him with my tears. But this, oh my lord. Oh my god. This is where range becomes an issue. It's also where Fanny Pack becomes insanely valuable. It's alright. This is really like a just be patient situation. Drop some bombs in now and then. Enjoy it. When you freeze them with the modem, sneak in there with the occasional bomb or a shot from your brimstone style stuff, you're gonna be fine. This is actually a fairly typical way for an Azazel run to end, is taking an embarrassing amount of damage on the final fight. But we did it. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. See ya.